Good morning and welcome. Happy Wednesday. Sorry I'm late. Ran a little behind here. And then there were a bunch of text messages that were really cool, and I'll share that with you in a moment. But then I was reading through our card for today. So, looking forward to seeing who pops on here. Yes, I'm late. So, let's start with the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you are here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Settling in. Had a long, busy night last night. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Had a meeting on the housing project we've been working on for 2 years. And then one of the people and I went out to supper because I hadn't seen her in a while since she has a new job and has been uber busy. So that was lovely. And then, good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. And then first I got to start back up and start with yesterday morning. After doing the early morning intuitive guidance, I then met with my Tuesday morning Zoom coffee group. Good morning, Gwen. And because I had talked about the card deck, the one with the shadow cards. Hang on, his name is coming. Gabrielle J. Maryhugh, and it's the Wild Harmonic deck. And good morning, Beth. Welcome. And I had said that they had shadow cards in there, and there's a reading where you pull aside the shadow cards to do a reading with that. And that the astrology reading that my friend Kayleen had given the night before on Zoom was talking about how right now is important for all of us to visit our shadow. Good morning, Mel. Welcome. And do some work, do some shadow work for ourselves. So I thought to myself, what about doing that shadow reading with our coffee group yesterday morning and do it on behalf of our coffee group and the United States. It was a wild reading, people. It was a wild reading. Good morning, Catherine. Welcome. Glad you're here. So profound, so deep, so spot on. So I was very heartened by what came out of that reading because it fell in alignment so well with what all of these other things are saying we need to be doing right now. Dive to the depths. Do some shadow work. What are you pretending not to know? Answering the questions that we posed yesterday. And so that was the morning. And one of my BFFs who is in my coffee group in the morning was an integral part of the conversation. And then last night, as I walked into the meeting about the housing project, got a message from her that her sister finally got the news that there was a pair of lungs for her. So she just this morning, 2:45, is out of surgery with a brand new pair of lungs. And so let's just send some energy. Good morning, Barb. Energy to Sue and her family as they support her sister. Energy to her sister for swift healing and her family to support her. Energy to all the docs and nurses who were integral to that process. And energy to the person who donated their lungs and their grieving family. I just thought, she's been on the list for, I can't even tell you how long. It's been a long time. And ended up off the list a couple of times because of illnesses. Divine right timing and divine right order. Yesterday was the day. I just think that's so cool. So, and then today's card. today's card and today's card deck. We haven't seen this one in a while, right? The Sacred Forest deck by Denise Lind. Thank you, Barb. Okay, hang on. This is just one of the Bonnie things. And before we get to the card, I want to point this out too, because there's been, what do I want to call it? Synchronicity with regard to this as well. Dreams. How many of you are having wild ass dreams lately, right? And that's been coming up. Kayleen talked about it. We talked about that yesterday morning, and in fact, did a little work with a dream yesterday. So this morning, as the alarm was going off, I had a strange dream. I was standing by the driver's door of a car, looking over the hood at a Bonnie sitting on one of, you know, those curb things they put in the middle of parking lots. Sometimes they have a tree in them, sometimes they have a light pole, blah, blah. Yes, all right. One of my friends, Bonnie, I mean, I've got a lot of friends who are Bonnies, and one of my friends, Bonnie, was sitting on the bottom of the curb, like the curb of the bumper, which was maybe 2 parking spots away from the car I was standing by, which I did not recognize the car. And there were other Bonnies. And they were all the Bonnies I know, you know, Bonnies from my work history, blah, blah, blah. Well, the one Bonnie who was sitting on the curb, I was going to walk over to her. Good morning, Bobby. Glad you were here. And I was going to say hello to her. And she put her head down and she started softly singing to herself. And I thought, well, I don't want to interrupt that. So I went behind the car and there was a Bonnie standing there. And so I was talking to her. And then the alarm went off and I woke up. But I just thought it was an interesting dream that I had. Good morning, Diane. Glad you are here. Had a dream with all these Bonnies in it. And I was in relationship with them and having conversation with them. Doesn't that fit in with all this stuff, right? And I saw it roll, not remembering the dreams. Don't worry about that. A couple things you can do about that. Set the intention when you lay down to go to sleep that you will remember your dreams. And keep usually the way I do it is I use the memo function on my phone, the voice memo function, and I'll just half garbled. Good morning, Angie, welcome. I'll half garbled, just say a few words about what was in the dream and then go back to sleep. You can have a little notepad there and just jot down some stuff. And really it doesn't matter if you remember the whole dream. Divine right timing and divine right order, right? Trust that what you remember is the piece you need to remember. And if it's these wild, convoluted dreams like people have been having lately, go back to the tool that we've talked about before, which is the Gestalt method of dealing with a dream. You just take a piece of paper, run a line down the middle, down the left side of the page, you list all the aspects of the dream, and I'm going to pick something different because I always use the same example. So let's say I'm walking through a house, and I'm walking into the kitchen, and I pay attention to the kitchen island, and there's a sink full of dishes, blah, blah. Then I would list those down the side. So house, kitchen, dishes, sink, island, list all the pieces. Then become those pieces and talk as if you are those things. So I'm the sink. I'm burdened with all of this stuff in me. I really want to be cleaned up and shiny. You talk as if you're the thing, okay? Do all the pieces. I'm the island. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not attached to anything. They use me all the time, you know, whatever. Then go back and read the whole narrative. If you are able, my vote is read the narrative out loud and record it as you read it. Then listen to it back again. So it's you telling you the narrative of that dream. A bazillion insights will come to you. You will very much figure out what all that convoluted stuff is about. So, Sacred Forest, Denise Lynn. And our card for today, very pretty card, is Owl Spirit, Wisdom. So there's obviously a woman wearing a red dress. She has wings, owl above her, a lot of light around the owl. Let's see what it has to say. Take a breath. Another breath. Opening to receive whatever part of this message chimes for you. I'm going to hold the card up so you can see the images as I read. The sun has set, and you feel a remarkable transformation occurring. Your body shapeshifts into an owl. You stretch out your huge wings and silently soar to the top of the tallest pine tree and look over the moonlit forest. Your ability to see the smallest details, even in the darkness, is remarkable. Hear that sentence again. You ready? Your ability to see the smallest details, even in the darkness, is remarkable. Your sight expands, and you see luminous light bodies of the spirit of the forest. They signal you with love and compassion. Abounding insight, profound majesty, and grace are available to you now, simply by pulling your awareness inward. So again, we've got that inward journey. Ancient wisdom is emerging. You know the truth. Trust your intuition and perceptions right now. You are a truth seeker and a truth sharer. The excellent sight of an owl in the darkness corresponds with your ability to perceive the reality of a situation, even in the murkiest of conditions. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a time of profound illumination and transformation. Does that not speak to what's going on right now? Profound time of transformation. The owl sits at the shoulder of Athena and Merlin, revealing sacred truths. In some native cultures, the owl is called the night eagle, for it has the majesty of the eagle, but works silently in the darkness of night. This card can also mean it's time to embrace your dark side as well as your light. There's the shadow work. Through doing so, you will be in balance. The spirit of the owl says, trust in your ability to see the deepest truth in situations and in people. Wisdom is growing within you in mysterious ways, beyond your awareness. This is a good time to sign up for inspirational courses. Messages from Spirit are all around you. Look for them and trust what you feel. Again, this is a time to be relying on intuition and to be relying on the non-physical senses, right? Clairaudience, clairsentience, all the clairs. It's a time to go within. It's a time to mine your shadow side. What's there for you? What are you meant to learn? What do you need to know? What are you pretending not to know? All the questions from yesterday, right? So if you have a chance, go back and watch yesterday's video again and do that work and see what comes up. But I think it was so profound that this is the card for today, given all of the things that took place yesterday. Owl Spirit, Wisdom. And if you look at the fairy, she's pondering. She's deep in thought. Deep in thought and deep in feelings. So, Owl Spirit, Wisdom. So, what will you do with this today? Here we are on this fine Wednesday. What will you do with this? What would be a little step forward utilizing this information? Love watching owls. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So that might be something you choose to do. Go on a hike and see if you see any owls. You have to be a very good looker. My friend Carol is fabulous at that. She can pick out a bird in a tree from, I would even say, miles away. She is just really good at that. What about for you? So for me today, I will have the opportunity to do some journaling and to do some shadow stuff. And I think I'm going to grab that other deck. I think today I'm just going to pull a card, one of the shadow cards. But I foresee doing that whole reading just for myself at some point when I get the nudge, the spiritual nudge that it's time to do that work. What about for you? What will you do today? Have an awesome Wednesday. We will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including trusting that inner wisdom. Bye-bye.